Hello again and welcome to the next video on my request list, which is another life purpose video. And this is about your life purpose number and your birthday number, which combined to give your life purpose, your challenges, your difficulties, your path of development for this lifetime. So the most important number in your chart is the 5. You're here to learn to be a 5 primarily, and that should be 90% your focus, with an extra 10% focus on the energy of the 9. So it's saying learn to be a 5, but with some elements of the 9. The 9 energy should support the life path 5, and these two energies should be working together. And the achievement of the 5 with the essence of the 9 is your life purpose. And what I'm going to do first is we're going to break down the life path 5, because that's the most important number for you, and look at the life paths that could be linked to that, the ones with the sublessons, and also look at the birthday energy so that you can have a good idea of what you're here to do in this lifetime. Now, before I start, I just want to say the 5 and the 9, your life path 5 and your birthday number 9, both push towards you having a passion that becomes your mastery, and a passion that you might actually sell as an entrepreneur. So you're very much about finding your focus, finding your passion, finding your mastery and your specialism, and then communicating that to others for others' well-being and as an entrepreneur. So what we're going to do first of all is break down that 5. So as a 5, you're here to learn to, you're here to indulge in varied experience anyway. You've got to. You're not going to find your mastery without looking at all the stuff around you, without looking at all other experiences and trying things out and deciding what you like and what you don't. So you're here to indulge in varied experience, learn from each one to help you choose your passion and your focus. But as a 5, you often don't learn from your experiences. You get easily bored, prone to brushing over experience without any learning or progression, and just being chaotic a lot of the time. So it's important that you have that varied experience if you haven't found your mastery yet, but you've got to learn from each one and understand which things do you love and which things do you not want to do ever again. Because when you have that passion and focus, you've got to learn to balance it, because you're always going to love challenge and adventure. It's always going to be a part of who you are. You're a 5. You're here to be adaptable, changeable, and to have experiences, to change, to have fun and adventure. So you're here to learn to balance variety, change and adventure, which will always be you, with the focus on your mastery and your specialism and your people around you, your family and your close friends. So it's like a 3-way focus, but you may struggle to find that healthy balance between your need for adventure and your need for mastery and discipline and your responsibilities towards others around you. That's not going to be easy for you to balance. But if you can balance your need for variety, change and adventure with your focus and your passion, and still make time for your family in a very balanced way, you're on the right track. You're here to find your passion and focus on it with discipline to attain progression and real personal freedom. Because what 5s don't often understand is what real freedom is. It's not attained. Freedom is not doing what you want. It's actually, you may think it is, but it isn't, because if I did what I wanted, I'd be very, very overweight and lazy, and I probably wouldn't be able to do what I wanted in life. I wouldn't be able to have that freedom of choice, because I've made myself too sick, eating too many things that I shouldn't because I want to and I feel free to, because we don't always make the right decisions, do we? What makes we think that if we do what we want, it's going to bring us freedom? What brings you freedom and what's important for you to learn as a 5 is self-discipline, is what will bring you real personal freedom, because it's this self-discipline that will bring on your mastery, and it will bring on the ability for you to have freedom of choice in a real way. But you may abuse your freedom like a lot of 5s do, causing ill health because you eat what you want, smoke what you want, drink what you want, or end up in trouble or incarcerated, which obviously is going to remove your freedom as well. And if you're ill, you don't have freedom. like I said, doing what you want isn't necessarily freedom, and it's important that a 5 understands that. Self-discipline is what brings real freedom. You're here to have balanced, healthy commitment and dependability to those around you. It goes back to having that balance for the family and people around you that you find difficult. But you're so chaotic and uncommitted and often forgetful of what you promise to people. You don't mean it, you just forget because you're chaotic. And you end up not fulfilling your commitments. You end up being undependable. Or sometimes when you're on the other side of the scale, you can be overcommitted and over-obsessed, especially if you've found your mastery. You can swing between the two. You're also here to learn to act fearlessly, not to let others stop you, and to surge ahead bravely. Not only that, you're here to help others to be brave as well, but we're going to get to that. But because you're here to be fearless, you're going to be fearful at first, especially in childhood. You fantasize about acting fearlessly, watch films or read books, but never actually do it. It's like you live your need for adventure through books and film when you need to start acting fearlessly in the real world. And that's not, fighting lions or going on an adventure to find a golden ring. I mean, acting to achieve what you need to in this lifetime, to find your mastery and to communicate it, to get out there and experience what you need to experience without fear. You don't want to be fear of travel, fear of adventure, fear of experience, fear of getting out there. You want to be strong and powerful and fearless. That's what you're here to learn to do. You're here because you're unfocused often, to focus your energy and drive onto your specialism with discipline to attain freedom, and to focus your energy in general to the tasks you need to achieve and the promises that you make to others. But as a 5, you'll find it unable to focus. Your energy is expressed in scattered directions a lot of the time. And immense amounts of energy can be wasted when you're a 5 energy. The social to achieve is this: you're here to be a communicator. And often it's communication of your specialism or your mastery. Or it might be that you're a communicator of your mastery, but also a storyteller, very chatty, talkative, fun to be around. Very much about developing your verbal and written communication skills. And of course, again, because you're here to do that, you might struggle with stunted communication. You might struggle with irrelevant, destructive dramas. So instead of communicating in a constructive way, you could end up in destructive dramas or stunted communication, or not speaking or writing or communicating with anyone at all in a very positive way. But you're here to learn to use your verbal and your written communication skills to your advantage, to socialize, to build relationships, and most importantly, to share your mastery and your specialism with the world. Because you're also here to be charismatic and social, but you can be negative, wired, uptight and argumentative when you're here to have charismatic social skills and make people laugh and feel good. Another thing for you to deal with. You're here to learn to be consistently independent due to your focus and your smart risk taking, but you don't always take smart risks. You're prone to swinging from independence to dependence and back again due to risky decisions, things that fall through, lack of commitment, rushing off and disappearing towards get-rich-quick schemes or situations. And when it goes wrong, you're running back with your tail between your legs. So you're either running away and no one knows where you are and over independent, or you're totally dependent and coming back with the tail between your legs. So you've got to make better decisions and take smarter risks so that you're more consistently independent. And like I said about fearlessness, you're here to challenge others to be fearless and expand their comfort zones too. So first of all, you've got to make yourself fearless, and then you're here to make others fearless too, and not be stuck in fear, indulging in pointless drama, escapism, and not achieving anything. You are a fearless communicator facilitator and master of what you do, and you're brave while you're doing it, and you encourage others to be brave while they're doing it too. So you're a 5. You could be a 5 on its own. You might have been born on the 3rd of January 1999 or the 1st of February 2000. There are many other dates that would make you just a 5 energy without the sublessons. Or you could be a 145, which is a karmic debt and means that you're an old soul and you're coming back to right a few issues from your previous soul endeavours. And that's if you were born, say, on the 2nd of November 1981, 7th of January 2004. You don't have to have a master energy as one of your 3 elements here, but it might help to have a master energy, the 11 on one of the elements to get to 14. But most of the time you just need 3 element numbers that will get you to 14. It's quite a common life path and karmic debt. Slightly less common, but still quite common, the 235, which is the very social 5. The 11th of September 1974 makes you a 235, or the 9th of November 2001, and you'll notice that at least one of the 3 elements of your date of birth needs to be 11 or 22 for you to, well, 11 definitely, for you to be able to jump to 23 as a 23-5. 32-5 is even rarer, and you often need to have a master 22 in the 3 elements, or 122 in one of the 3 elements of your date of birth, like the 5th of May 1975. 1975 is a 22 year, or the 22nd of July 2001. So having 11 2 11s or a 22 in the 3 elements of your date of birth is needed for you to be a 325. 415, even rarer. I don't see many 415s. You often need 2 master numbers in the 3 elements of your date of birth in order to be a 415, like the 22nd of November 2211 1970, or the 11th of August 1984, which is a 22 year. So you need the 22 and the 11 really in your 3 elements of your date of birth to be a 415. And the 505, the rarest of them all, you definitely have to have 2 master energies, 2 22s in the 3 elements of your date of birth, like the 22nd of, say, June 1975, the 22nd of June 1993. So it's very much being born on a 22 day and being born on a 22 year. That's what you need to be a 505, very rare life path number. So let's look at your birthday number now. So remember, that 5 is the most important thing for you to achieve in this lifetime. There is nothing more important than that. But your chief advisor, the energy that is there to help your 5 energy, to enhance your 5 energy, is the day you were born. And that's going to be the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th. So we're just dealing with the 9. You can dig a little bit deeper and look into the 1-8 or the 2-7 if you so desire, but remember, this is only 10% of your purpose, and then focusing on the 9 will be the most important thing, with extra focus on the sub-lessons if you feel that you can. So the 9 energy is here to support your life path 5. So to support your life path 5 and for the life path 5, you need to follow your intuitive wisdom. Now, I should have said, in the 5 energy, following and acting on your intuition is very, very important. Intuitive risks, intuitive decisions, you already know that from your 5 life path. But in the 9 also, it's saying again, follow your intuitive wisdom and value faith over logic. So intuition is extremely important for you. And you should be focusing on your own inner faith in yourself and your voice within over what you hear in the world or worldly laws or logic. You know better, but you might struggle and follow worldly laws, ideals, prejudice, and maybe even act counterintuitively, because you're here to develop ethics, integrity, and the intention to improve other people's well-being. That's an energy that you're going to use to support the mastery and communication of your life path 5, that it should be ethical, full of integrity, and should improve someone's well-being in some way, whether it be emotionally, mentally, or physically. But you might have a certain amount, less so because it's your birthday number, not your life path. So you might have a bit of selfish intention for your own gain. Sometimes you might have been a bit unethical and uninterested in other people's well-being. But this depends on the other numbers in your chart as well, so don't worry. You're here to be a humanitarian with a global consciousness. So, of course, there is a slight tendency there in the 9 energy, but remember it's only a 10% energy, that you might have a certain amount of bigotry and discriminatory tendencies because of that 9 energy. And you need to learn to be more inclusive and more humanitarian and more ethical and improve everyone's well-being, no matter who they are. And that's got to be fed, remember, through your life path 5, through your mastery, and communicated through your life path 5. You're also here to act responsibly, take responsibility for your powerful choices and your powerful actions. And of course, because you're here to take responsibility, you might be irresponsible sometimes, quite nefarious, even selfish, and have difficulty accepting the consequences of the actions that you take. So it's very important that you act in a responsible, humanitarian way with ethics and integrity in order to improve what people's well-being. That's very important that you work towards that. But it's okay that you've had to work towards that. It's okay if you've been unethical sometimes. It's okay if you were bigoted and discriminatory, as long as you're learning to be better. It's okay if you're selfish sometimes. It's even okay to be nefarious if you learn from it. That's the whole idea of life, right? You're also here to learn to be an entrepreneur. Remember I said about marketing your passions as an entrepreneur. You're already a 5 here to have a mastery and a passion. And the 5 energy is also very entrepreneurial. So you're here to learn to be an entrepreneur, a skilled business person who markets their passions, and their mastery links very nicely with the 5 there. But like in the 5 life path, you may struggle to connect with your passion and your mastery, and even if you found your mastery, you may fail to market them in any entrepreneurial setting. But these difficulties are meant to be there. The idea is for you to work through these difficulties and improve over time. You're here to lead positively by example, by practicing what you preach for others to emulate. But you could lead negatively. You might lead negatively by example, and others will follow you, and they'll follow you to their own destruction as well. So it's important that you use your power in the 9 energy to lead positively by example and lead people towards well-being, because you're here to be positive, well-intentioned, an intuitive teacher, counselor, advisor, storyteller, speaker, a person of your mastery. But again, because you're here to do that, there might be a certain amount, less so because it's not your life path number, it's only your birthday number. You might be a bit negative intentions sometimes. Sometimes you might even teach things that aren't true, advising your followers to do things that are not in their interests and they think they are in their interests. So it's just something you need to develop past. It's a 9 thing. You're here to learn excellent, charismatic and influential social skills, just like the 5. So there's extra onus for you to develop your social skills in this lifetime. But you might be dominating and aggressive, and you certainly don't suffer fools gladly when you have a 9 energy. Or in the 5 energy, you might be argumentative and not mix very productively with others at times. So it's important that you develop your social skills in the life path 9 and in the life path 5 and the birthday 9. You're here to be an excellent speaker, like in the 5, so able to influence an audience with your healthy, intuitive way of thinking. So in the 5 energy, you are here to be a verbal and written communicator, and it's extra here with the birthday 9. So that's extra focus on social skills and your speaking communication. But you have the ability to influence, but you may not influence people in a very positive way. So it's about influencing people in a very positive way, communicating in a very positive way towards others. So social skills and communication are extra important because it's the onus is on your life path 5, and the birthday number 9 is just adding to that. It's bringing a little extra into that. You're here to practice with interdependence, with boundaries. You give and receive help from others in a balanced way. That's what you're here to do. But you can swing in the 5 from independence to dependence and back again. And in the 9, you can often try and be a bit of a fixer, a bit of a meddler, doing too much, taking over other people's lives. The 5 energy is more prevalent, but there may be a certain amount of fixer energy about you. And you fix and control everyone else's lives, but you certainly don't ask for help from anybody else. And you might try dealing with everything on your own. It's almost like you like to be the helper, but you see asking for help as a weakness. And that needs to change, because you need to be more interdependent. And you've got to learn to see past perceived injustice, because this can really hold you back. Past perceived difficulties, challenges and injustice, they're an opportunity for you to learn important lessons to be stronger. Things that happened badly to you in your past are not here to hold you back or to make you a victim or to give you an excuse not to achieve what you need in life. You see all these challenges, you experience all these difficulties, even injustice. It's all an opportunity to learn, to be stronger, to learn important lessons, learn self-love and to be stronger. It's certainly not something that should be used in a victim mentality to hold you back, but you might be held back by a bit of victimhood. Past unresolved anger, spirit of revenge even, and using that spirit of revenge as an excuse for nefarious or negative action. That's something that you want to try and avoid. Remember, even when someone does something negative to you, you don't need to have a fight or argue with them. You just need to understand what they're mirroring to you and the lessons that you're here to learn through them. All challenges and difficulties in life are lessons to learn and should not be avoided. See your difficulties and challenges and anything you went through in your younger life as an opportunity to learn and to be stronger, rather than something to hold you back as a victim. Now, I hope you've really enjoyed the video today. If you haven't subscribed already, please like and subscribe. If you'd like a reading, please contact me at katie@soulexplorer.net email, or you can contact me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn or Twitter, but you'll get a quicker response by email. I'm on My Guru sometimes, but if you'd like to support me in my videos, you can support me on Ko-Fi and Patreon, and the links to those are in the description box. But whatever I've said to you today in this video, it's your intuition which must give you your final decisions. It's your voice within that you should be following, especially for you as a life path 5 and a birthday number 9. It's important for us all to be intuitive and follow our gut rather than what we hear in the world. But for the 5-9 especially, listen to the voice within you. It's very important.